Shablammy.
There.
Boom live. What's crack-a-lackin', Mr. JB?
How's it going, Rich?
It is going fantastic today. We're not drinking haterade today. I brought me 2 bottles of disappointment.
Oh.
A couple bottles of disappointment because evidently we've been naughty. Oh, that is me not turning the sound off on myself.
Well, I did it too, actually.
And hearing my own feedback.
I did it
That
too.
was weird.
Apparently, we've never run a live show before.
Which we did talk about this the other day, and JB and I both have to apologize because we didn't realize that some of the stuff in the chat wasn't going through.
Yeah, I guess we should start off the show. It is. Do you want to announce the show?
It is episode number 11 of this shit that needs to be said show, and this week we are we're gonna be talking about a lot. We're gonna be talking about some fun shit. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun show.
You guys gotta listen to this shit.
I gotta be honest. It's gonna start out a little spicy, and then we're gonna have a parental advisory warning because I can guarantee you there's probably gonna be some F-bomb drops around here.
What's the word, Thompson, NorCal? Hey guys.
Barbecue, remotely controllable NorCal, Thompson. What's happening, guys? Thanks for joining us. Whew.
Yeah, I know. We were so excited. We didn't even start the show off right. We're just like, yeah.
I know. It's just freaking, I was saying some kind of rabid nonsense because I'm so excited about my bottles of disappointment.
So yeah, I guess first we should start off the show with an apology. We need to apologize to a few people right now, and probably not why you think.
And I don't know. I honestly don't know why some of the chats don't come through. It's one of those. It's a YouTube thing because we have actually been watching just before the show has gone on here about chats and whatnot, and it does appear that
we noticed that you guys
there are certain keywords that YouTube will not let your chat be visible to something, and much like how our show got taken down for community guideline rules,
apparently they don't want you to say bad words or anything like this. So we've noticed that some of the chat, you guys, it hasn't been posting for you guys because YouTube is so. That won't happen anymore. Yeah.
Yes, we now officially have our moderator, the one and only Mr. JB, who will be able to push chats through when YouTube decides they want to. It might hurt somebody's feelings if you say that.
Right.
Somebody might get offended.
I need to do this. I got to do this real quick.
Who's here, BS? You know, love saying it. Oh, come on.
Well, yeah. I'm getting ready. It's got to be smooth.
Yeah, get the.
Ooh, it's an RC car.
Absolutely the best name in RC. The best name in RC. I'm 110,000% jealous that you are not looking at the it's RC on my label there.
Limber up them vocal cords.
Sticky's RC is lame compared to RC as far as the name is concerned. All right. So let's
back to the apologies.
Let's kick this pig.
Well, wait.
I'm gonna freaking start off by. Uh-oh. Did you want to say something first?
Yeah. Can you not hear me? Am I just?
YouTube blocked you out. I'm gonna blame them.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, at first I wanted to apologize to the chat because this is the shit that needs to be said show. You guys should be able to say what you want to say here, and we will continue to put up your comments. Then I need to apologize to Rich's mom because I am going to drop a couple F-bombs today, Mom, and I am sorry.
I did speak to Mom this afternoon. I did pre-warn her.
You gave her a little.
We're dropping a little bit of spice
because I don't want to be on Santa's naughty list this year again.
But all right, so we're gonna start off by I know that most of all of you have been here for the last couple of weeks and you have seen the show and you know that we have talked about transparency in Operation 11 Charlie. Well, last week and I'm going to be totally honest here, open and transparent, that's me. I regret making the offer for any of them to come on the show and be open and transparent and show the receipts, because that started off a chain of events that quite honestly has reached a level of mild ridiculousness.
So you guys.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen here. And I'm showing the screen here.
I hope you're all paying attention right now, because this next part's going to get it very important.
Because this is irony right here. And you'll know the irony in a few minutes after I make a couple of comments. But this is the ad for Grammarly. And if you don't know what Grammarly is, it's the place where you can go and type stuff in, and it will put all the punctuation, make the grammar, and make suggestions so that you don't sound like a dummy when you're writing stuff down.
So, like, if I'm giving one Locos a comment on his channel and I go in there and I say, hey, man, nice video, I don't sound like a complete idiot when I'm saying, hey, man, nice video.
Exactly that. So just remember the Grammarly ad that popped up on this is the episode number 9 from a couple weeks ago. So during last week's show, Mr. At Ease RC, I'm not going to use his personal name, we'll call him by his YouTube channel, because that's what we're going to do. Posted the comment where he is responding that he would love to be on your show to clear up any confusion you may have about Operation 11 Charlie, period. I'm disappointed the two of you won't respond to my emails in order to educate yourselves and your audience. So as you can see, I didn't reply to this, but somebody else did, and I will get to Miss Yaga in a moment, because that is where the Grammarly part comes into this. But first, I decided not to post a comment and just voice what I have to say in response to that here on the show so that everybody can hear it. There isn't any confusion. The only confusion is that there is a lack of transparency. Now, the lack of transparency isn't just me and JB. This is from when this show started. Before this show started, when I was doing lives by myself, people sending me messages, asking me questions that obviously I can't answer because I'm not a part of it anymore. So there isn't any confusion. And the second part, they won't respond to emails. I can see Jeremy's here. Great. I got 2 emails from you, Jeremy. One right after I left, and which I did respond to. The second one, I'm going to apologize, was wishing me a happy holidays to me and my family. And rudely, I didn't respond. So I apologize, because that was absolutely rude of me. You reached out to me, but neither one of those emails was sent to me to educate me or the audience here. So that's not exactly 100% on point there. The overall tone of the comment is again a little bit.
I gotta say, man,
it's a little bit condescending, considering that both JB and I were a part of Operation 11 Charlie for over 2 years. Matter of fact, we were a part of it before it was an LLC. Before it was a 501c3, when it was just a bunch of guys that were getting together on YouTube every week, helping veterans. When there was it was basically the purest form of 11 Charlie back in the day. So
people looking for people to help at that moment.
Yes, and I've said it before. Both JB and I have said it before. We were proud of the work that we were doing there. We were proud to be a part of that team when we were doing those things. But after we had left, it became clear that there were plenty of people out there that had questions. Matter of fact, there was a comment posted on another episode where somebody asked and said specifically about the transparency of Operation 11 Charlie. And
oh, we're all lost a little bit, bro. Don't worry about it.
And shortly, and I replied to it. And shortly after that, that person pulled their own comment down. Now, I would assume they pulled it down because they didn't want to have to deal with the backlash and the semi-harassment of what happens and what has happened repeatedly whenever anybody has any sort of disagreement or questions to Operation 11 Charlie. And I hate to be the bearer of truth here, Mr. Kilburn, and everyone else with Operation 11 Charlie. You guys don't react well to questions. And
I don't like being put on the spot.
But it wasn't just the fact that this comment came in. It came in during the show. I understand that when you're on live, you can't post a comment on that show until it goes live. So he posted it on a previous show. But then an hour later, he also sent me a text. And then 2 days later, when I was on Outback Jack's live stream, Jeremy also went into the chat there.
You chased Richard down.
So here you guys are making fun of a disabled combat veteran that been me.
Well, let's get to that here in a minute.
Well, yeah, hey, Baba Yaga, I don't think anybody's made fun of you at all. Nobody's ever made fun of veterans on this show ever. And I believe both JB and I have said that we have the utmost respect for veterans. JB's mother and father are both veterans, as a matter of fact.
Dad was an Army sniper. My mom was an Army helicopter mechanic. That is why I was a part of Operation 11 Charlie in the first place, was my dad came home a total asshole and used to beat me. Sound familiar? You guys have no respect. All right, yeah, I understand. No respect.
Yeah, I mean, Baba Yaga, you can yell all you want in the chat. It doesn't make what you're saying right. But let me finish.
Anyways, let's go on. Yeah.
So I addressed Jeremy on Jack's show that, look, this is
Jack didn't even know who Jeremy was. Jeremy
this is my show, and we have, he's got nothing to do with this. There's nothing, and there was not me on that show talking about Operation 11 Charlie other than saying I wasn't a part of it because Jack didn't know I wasn't a part of it anymore. And I did mention that some of the 11 Charlie guys weren't too happy with me because we had mentioned about them being more transparent about what's going on with Operation 11 Charlie.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. Veterans do stick together.
I'm sure I've never heard any shit toward veteran. I'm UK, the most patriotic you can get, and wouldn't hear a word said about that. Exactly. So, and here's a person that has been in the chat almost every single show, Baba Yaga, and guess what? He hasn't heard us say anything negative about veterans because,
look, whatever. I'm not into a he said, she said pissing contest here, and I'm not into a dick swinging contest here. All we did was ask what's coming in and what's going out. Seems like a really easy question to answer. And if you really want to know, the Freedom of Information Act could give us the right just to get that information. All we're asking is that you show it. But you guys seem to be throwing quite the fit. So
okay.
You want to be transparent? Rich, I'm sorry.
Hey, look, like I said, you guys can be transparent. You don't have to be transparent. First and foremost,
in NorCal, I haven't even said email me it. Give me an address.
Email what?
Email you what?
Give me you'll email what?
I mean, the half the shit that I've wanted to say, half the shit that I've even wanted to bring up about some of the bullshit that I saw and the bullshit that happened, I haven't even said. So, he's going to give us the tax return.
Okay, email it. Hey, you don't have to. You don't have to do squat.
I don't know why we need to do that. No. That's the other part.
Do it on your show.
That's the other part to this. Is you guys, we felt like we gave you a chance, and you guys hunt us down seriously. Like, look, man, I'm disabled too. I got fibromyalgia. I told people in Operation 11 Charlie that. Now I can't do anything. I get to sit here in a fucking chair all goddamn day. All right? My life was destroyed because I made a question. So,
well, and
I ain't got no friends. I ain't got no people. I ain't got nobody. I'm over here all by myself. No. Because I knew. Once I questioned you guys,
whoa,
shut me
you
out.
gave us a chance, dude. You blocked every one of us. Nobody blocked anybody. You guys are in the chat right now. There's nobody been blocked.
He's talking about me blocking all of them in the beginning, is what he's referring to.
Hey, look, hey, let's for open and honest and transparency here on our part.
Sure.
Honestly, you know, I don't want to speak for JB, but I know after talking with JB, there were some hurt feelings there. And when he walked away with the purpose of, you know, I'm not going to be associated with that. And I don't want to be associated with you and the people involved in it because there are some hard feelings there. Now, everybody can understand that. Now, I haven't blocked anybody. Now, I unfriended a bunch of people, but I haven't blocked anybody. I don't block anybody for anything. I'm not internet arguing. I offered you answer to the questions you want.
We're not having an invite. We're not a spot for Operation 11 Charlie. This is kind of where it's going to end right here. Because we have other shit we would like to talk about, you guys. You guys are a small spot in my fucking world right now.
Well,
all right?
And this is exactly the part of what I regretted, because I knew that this is what kind of crap's going to happen. You guys are going to dogpile in here and spam the chat to defend yourselves one after another, and go ahead.
Yeah, I make fun of you every week. I'll make fun of everybody who's on RC. I really don't care.
Honestly, Jeremy, if you have watched any of the shows and watched them completely through, there isn't anybody we're not making fun of.
If you wear a big V on your hat and tell me how to start my career in RC, I make fun of you. If you wear a Star-Spangled hat with wraparound sunglasses and use a monster truck to drive over RC cars because you're a sellout, I'll make fun of you. I really don't give a shit.
Okay, so OVRC. And again, this is why this, like I said, was honestly, I regret making the invite. I don't regret asking for transparency, but
I regret that they had to hunt me down to show it to me, to come over here on our show to, you know, you guys won't even let us ask questions on your show. Say it to my face. Say it to my face. Yeah, whatever, man. Get out of town.
Like I said, there's some hurt feelings. There's honestly some hurt feelings. And we're not here to talk about the hurt feelings. Okay? Honestly, we were simply here to address the comment from Mr. At Ease. Like I said, it's kind of condescending. You know, educating,
like you're going to educate me or my audience
and the viewers.
I'm sure my audience really appreciates that. Thank you.
The other one was to address Baba Yaga. Okay, so it's been on the screen for a little bit here. Baba Yaga came in. Obviously, he's upset, and because he watched the show, and I bet none of you these two characters have served. In which I replied, "You are correct." But why would that matter if all we're asking for is transparency from an organization we both build?
Dude.
Now, the first thing that comes up in his comment to that is it matters because the organization has done more to help out many of my friends than you can imagine, which actually we can imagine because we were actually a part of the program when it first started. So we know that there's literally hundreds of people.
The original show. What the? Anyways, whatever. Like I said, I'm not going to get into the he said. I'm not going to go back. Like we just asked to show what's coming in, what's going out. You guys.
I know most of this, guys. Okay, hey Bobby, you really don't have to yell, and that's the part where the irony of the Grammarly coming up.
Yeah, man, you ever heard of Grammarly?
Baba Yaga, I understand that you are a mythical, legendary feature.
Well, that's funny because one of your Operation 11 Charlie members does not seem to recognize civilian. You know what? I'd say that with your guys' reactions to the questions that has happened, that RC therapy shit that you're kicking around isn't really working.
Well, and
You guys
Jeremy,
seem to be
look,
pretty fucking angry.
You can read Baba Yaga's comment right there, and he clearly says, I never see you in the trenches, but you're lying and nonsense. First of all, neither one of us has lied about anything, and that's simply none of the Operation 11 Charlie guys in the chat even right now are accusing us of lying about anything, because we haven't said anything. We haven't accused you of anything. We've just simply pointed out that, things were getting less transparent towards the time before I left, and it had changed even more since after I left. And other people, you can look up right here that there's another person that asked the question about why there's no more induction videos. But here, Baba Yaga goes on to explain here that he doesn't trust civilian that was not next to me in combat. And I know that that's specifically something that in Operation 11 Charlie, we spoke about multiple times. That this is
the wall we were trying to break down. I wanted to be closer to my dad, but my dad was real. Oh, man.
But the fact of the matter is here, and I don't need to blow that comment up anymore. The fact of the matter is here that this is a, well,
good. If things have changed for the better, then things are better.
Well, if they've changed for the better, look, it's not just the two of us sitting here saying this, guys. This is more than one. And guess what? There are multiple people that won't say anything out loud because of how Operation 11 Charlie has reacted in the past. And I will remind those who weren't around, I'll remind those who were around, and I will inform those of you that weren't around. A couple of years ago, a guy by the name of RC Master came in and started asking a couple questions and got absolutely blasted on an 11 Charlie show. And they weren't questions that were way out of line. He was simply pointing out the fact that,
hey, what'd you build? Sorry.
Anyhow, yeah, look, again, this isn't the Operation 11 Charlie sounding board. If you guys want to come in here and talk shit and have fun, then come in here and talk shit and have fun. And if you get offended or bothered because we say you're not that transparent, it's not because only we are saying it. It's because multiple people have said it.
Dude, and I question TT4C. I question ASD crawlers. You know what? Anybody who's trying to make a buck off RC, I watched what happens when that happens. I didn't like it. So,
and here, for instance, one of the things is somebody pointed out that how come there aren't any more induction videos? Now, I personally know before I left, I know that we had talked about there were some privacy things there and all of that going on, but it's not 100% of the time. And just me, myself, looking at Facebook and Instagram, and I don't see you guys posting as much. I see you guys posting about events and things like that, but I don't see you guys posting very much about.
Sure, but where's the numbers about the cars or the money or any of that stuff? Yeah, private, that's fine, but you can't tell me how many.
It's important. What? But there are plenty of them, and plenty of them in the past that were completely open to having their pictures taken.
Wait, let them say this. Sorry, you're on my show. Wah.
Hey, Baba Yaga, nobody is quieting anybody down here. Ain't nobody been booted out of the chat. And guess what? Operation 11 Charlie is very familiar.
I'm pretty sure I got kicked out of the chat, got called a shitty person, and
well, come on now.
Well, I was using my what is it? My pseudonym. Anyone know who a bag of dicks might be?
Thou shalt ingest a satchel of Richards. A lot of our services are in VA hospitals and they can't be publicized. But okay.
That sounds shady. Sorry.
Well,
I understand.
That isn't really transparency. Well, a lot of the stuff we do is very private, so we can't talk about it. Okay. Again,
it's like HR and harassment, right? That's what we talked about this. It's not how you meant it. It's how I viewed it. It doesn't matter what your intention was. It's how the public perceives it.
Exactly. The court of public opinion is quite a cruel one.
Hey, Baba, there's a wonderful block button if you're that upset, bro. I mean, nobody's making you watch this show, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, I understand that here we have a whole gang of Operation 11 Charlie guys that are absolutely upset with a couple of ex members here. I gotta fix my screen here because you can't see my thumb moving. That are upset with a couple of ex members. Let their veterans say something. Baba Yaga, nobody is not letting them say anything. You guys can say whatever you want in the chat. That's the motto of this freaking show, dude. I'm not sure what part of this you're not comprehending. This is open and honest discussion. You can say whatever you want. You have to stand the complexity. Do say when we go. What? Whoa, whoa. Well, hold on a second there. That jumped. Do say when we go. Perception is the only eye of the person perceiving. I'm not upset. Okay, but and look, honestly, Jeremy, I know that you were watching Jack's show the other day, and I thought that I was completely respectful, and I have nothing but respect for our veterans. I got nothing but respect. You guys have, as far as I'm concerned, the second shittiest job on the planet.
Why are they not on the panel? Because this is our show, dude.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't a panel show.
They wouldn't let me come on their show and ask them questions. There's no way. Because when I started asking questions, when I started asking someone questions, that someone shut me out. And there wasn't any getting back in good graces with that one person. And we all know who that one person is.
Okay, now I'm trying to catch up here because the chat kind of jumped.
I know, these guys are just...
So I'm here. I'm at Juan Cabrera. I'm at yours. Member of Option, not leadership. I can tell my experience. I've been treated great. Plus the 6 veterans that I invited all have great RCs. Of those veterans, 3 have brought veterans that. Yeah, that's great, Juan. Look, honestly, that's what I was talking about in the very beginning. It was just a bunch of guys before there was a corporation, before there was 501c3. It was just a bunch of guys helping veterans. And as time went on and as things changed, they got less transparent. And in my eyes and in other people's eyes, now I can, I can post up, I would have to go through and delete out names because people are going to say things in private.
I mean, this whole dick swinging thing and he said, she said bullshit. I'm tired of this, man. I'm telling you, man. Like,
you can always say we can talk about what we want on your show.
Yeah,
because you can talk about whatever you want on our show.
But we might move right the fuck on.
I'm not pissed at anyone, confused as fuck about the entire situation. And that is, honestly,
I don't blame you.
Probably several people in here that are confused as fuck. But that was
Traxxas. We'll get there too. We're hoping to get there.
I have renamed Traxxas to T-Hole. The reason we are upset is because we are a bit hurt. We treated you two like family, and then all of a sudden you left and started insinuating a lot, and continued to do so. Insinuating
I'm
nothing.
Not insinuating anything.
Haven't made any accusations. Have only talked about transparency. And to be perfectly honest here, throughout the entirety of the show, we've talked about transparency, not just directed at Operation 11 Charlie. At all charities, at all 501c3s, at all places where donations are going in.
Man, Baba, go grab an RC car and go outside, dude. Your RC therapy, brother. Do that. You need to chill out.
I mean, the chat's going too fast here. I can't keep up. Okay, I'm at OB. The Caps guy is gonna blow a vessel. I apologize, Baba Yaga. I can't do anything to make this any more open for people to say what they want than I can. It is.
Well, I appreciate that, Jeremy. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I honestly 100% respectful thing to say, because that is all of our veterans.
Fuck yeah, somebody does. You're absolutely right.
Present and future fought for the right for JB and I to sit here and have an opinion. And let's be honest here. First of all, this show is 100% here for some entertainment.
Luckily for you, you've been able to ask a question. Yeah, well, what like you said, man.
I'm glad.
I've basically moved on. You guys, whatever.
I can't speak for anyone. I'm not asking for anyone to speak for anyone. You know, look, the request. I understand the whole privacy thing and whatnot. It's just about. It's not just the two of us that are being the assholes here. There's plenty of other assholes out there that have asked the same thing that we have asked.
Well, look what happens when you ask the questions out loud, though. This is what happens. Like
Earl Moorhead. No, Earl, you were a T-hole fanboy.
yes, and I, like
Oh, now, okay, look, as far as Facebook is concerned and all of social media, we're all adults here, and social media is shit. It's just shit. I got people on Facebook that I've been friends with that I don't even know who the hell they are.
Well, no, I've hung out with Juan. I know Juan, but Juan, look, man. I mean, brother, I really appreciate what you did, but and I'm glad I got to do what I got to do for you. But there were things going on, and I felt like I talked to people. I felt like Jeremy, I called you, man. I called you on the phone, and we had a conversation. And you know what you told me? Oh, that sounds like a lot to process.
Earl,
I'm like, all right, well, I don't know. Like this isn't a pissing contest about who said what said bullshit anyways.
Yeah. And so
prior to this, we asked the question out loud. We just said, hey, what's coming in? What's going out? You guys don't seem to talk about that a lot.
And at no point, at any point, has anybody made fun of any veterans.
You didn't treat me in a negative way. You didn't just treat me. You didn't treat me in any way. You didn't. As far as I know, I was a good salesman. I appreciate that.
And honestly, I never treated either of you in a negative way. And I don't remember ever making fun of any veterans' cognitive ability at all.
All right. Well, I apologize if I've disrespected you in some way, but I
may have poked fun at Baba Yaga, but this is the guy that's in here been blasting all caps and posted a comment basically calling me a liar. So if I'm going to fire back at you a little bit, hey,
yeah, but the same thing, Jeremy, I had that conversation. Well, whatever. I'm tired of talking about this. No, I left. You guys, you don't understand. Like,
I did make fun of Yaga, and that is only because Yaga came into this show in this chat and has been blasting away in all caps, calling liars and spreading all kinds of things. So guess what, dude? If you're gonna come in here, then that's the nature of this show. It's the shit that needs to be said show.
You can make fun of me too. I don't care.
Yeah. You want to poke fun at first of all, if I poke fun at Baba Yaga, I don't even know who Baba Yaga is. As far as I know, Baba Yaga is a mythical Slavic witch who lives with her two sisters in a house that has giant chicken legs. That's all I know about Baba Yaga. So sorry to have made fun of you, Baba Yaga, but for crying out loud, take the caps lock button off. Talk like a normal person. I'm yelling here because nobody else is yelling in here. We're in here having a good time.
I got nothing but time
week in and week out. I don't help me understand what. So why did y'all leave? I sent an email why I left, pointed out a couple reasons. And I said at that time that I wouldn't go blowing dirty laundry out in public.
And the same thing. Yeah, I can't answer your question about why I left here publicly because I don't want to pull your pants down and spank you in front of everybody.
And you'll know the people that are in this show every week, that are in the chat, the NorCals, the Thompsons, the Oohs, they all know, and they can all attest that we're in here making fun of everybody all the time. Matter of fact,
If you've
Very
been paying attention to the show, I make fun of everybody. Like I said, if you're wearing a Star Spangled Banner hat and wraparound sunglasses and running around over RC cars with a monster truck, I'll probably make fun of you. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is these guys have made fun of both of us in the chat, so it's not like we're in here taking things all personal. It's fun. We're having fun, and if this isn't your type of fun, then nobody has to watch. Nobody has to listen.
Like we kept talking about, like we did ask a question, but really the show is about entertainment.
I can tell you, I can show you the list right here of all the shit that I wanted to talk about on today's show, and there's just two little pieces up here. There's a whole other part of the show that we're going to get to once this madness is over.
It feels like I don't understand because 165 views on our last show, right? 167 views on our last show, and it's like, oh my god, 167 views. And if you really wanted me to, I could just go outside, knock on everybody's door here in the trailer park. I think I got at least more than that here.
Jeremy, you have yourself a wonderful evening, and once again, nothing but respect. And the fact that you came in here and had conversation with us, not having caps lock key locked down, is fantastic, and I appreciate it. And guys, you're all welcome to come in here anytime you want. And if you want to come in here and call me an ugly, fat, gray-haired, mohawk fucking douchebag, fucking come on, bring it. We'll have some fun, because I'll laugh my ass off at shit like that. Because I don't, I'm not taking anything personal here. Don't want anybody else taking things personal here either. This isn't a fucking cock measuring show. We're in here talking shit. And guess what? See, speaking of talking some shit, now that we can just put that fucking shit to bed, that's right, I'm going to start dropping F-bombs. Mom, sorry. Sorry to my wife as well. But I'm going to drop some fucking F-bombs here, because that's what we need. We need some F-bombs in this show tonight to calm everybody the fuck down. First of all, fucking Traxxas. This ongoing fucking nonsense. Now, a bunch of people are trying to, technically they're just following the. There's two ways the Traxxas could have done this. The way they did it, by sending out an asshole cease and desist letter, or they could have just sent out a bunch of emails and been like, hey guys, look, we appreciate that you guys are doing aftermarket support for our product, and we appreciate
FMS is beating the Traxxas ass with the FCX platform.
I missed something.
Well, I
missed something here. See, this is what happens. The chat starts rolling, and bang.
That's why I come to this show, is for the chat.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I wish you could grow a mohawk.
Oh, what I mean is Jesus. Me and Jesus have a good understanding.
I got Jesus. Jesus is my co-pilot. Anyhow, Traxxas could have done it one of two ways. Traxxas went the route that they did. They could have just sent about a bunch of emails and been kind of nice guys about it, and everything would have been fine.
Whoa. We'll see you soon. Wait a minute. I know the context of text is hard to tell, but I mean, you're still yelling in caps too, bro. So
we'll see you soon. Please. Baba.
Hey, by the way, I just want to pull an Epstein moment right now, just so everybody's aware. I don't have any plans of suicide. I don't have any plans of hurting myself. If I disappear in the next 2 weeks because, I don't know, maybe somebody ghost-like takes me out, well.
Hey, OV, again, nothing but respect for you, my friend. None of this was ever personal. Okay, and me leaving.
No, wait, come back. It was no, I'm just kidding. They just lost all the viewers. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, OV. Hey, look, take care. by all means, you know. Baba Yaga, look, dude. You do realize that making threats online is, you know,
wow, you made it personal. Hey, man, this is recorded. It's fine. It's cool. We're just whatever.
Nobody made anything personal, but if that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel. Go ahead and keep bombing the chat away, buddy.
See, this is the thing that I was talking about with. Never mind. I'm done. Like I said,
NorCal. I'm sorry, I am a little hard of hearing. It's difficult to hear when somebody's yelling at you.
Grab that RC color. Go do some of that RC therapy with your RC brothers, brother.
It's like dealing with vegans. Yeah, the vegans. If you're sitting there eating a steak in front of them, they just absolutely crap themselves.
Tank, where have you been? See, I haven't had a chance to make fun of a Thursday night show. Hold on, give me a minute. Like, I'm here to offend everybody. You guys got to understand. I really.
What's happening, Frank?
Don't give a shit.
It's time to do some yoga. Yeah. God, bless it. Man, it is. I told you. We're spreading some.
Yeah. This is like,
bam. you can taste. I mean, hello guys from work. What's happening, JM? Good to see you. Yeah, for anybody who's just now joining, we have dispensed with the drama, and we're now moving on to have some fun.
You probably missed the best part of the show, and now we're going to be really boring.
Yeah, I'm terribly sorry. The rest of the show is going to be sad and boring.
I know drama just drives everything up, doesn't it? People love drama. That's why I like to. That's why I like to poke fun at you guys. You know.
Yeah, because and
I don't care if you're wading in a creek in California looking for your RC car. I might make fun of you.
Yeah, and if you weren't aware, NorCal, that was JB totally poking fun at you for zooming your RC into a flooded river, and then having
my superfood is ready. Oh, whatever, dude. Get out of town.
I jump on this show to get all the week's drama done in one sitting. I mean, come on, man.
It's the best place.
There's still an hour and 15 minutes left where we can stir up some more drama.
Hold on, you got that drama? I'm going to reach around and pull one off the shelf behind me and show you my drama.
Did Baba Yaga really leave? Did he really leave? He said, I'll see you soon, and we made it personal, and then he just left without even saying goodbye. How rude.
See, there's somebody who understands. See, thanks for the support. Most people, I mean, I'm surprised. Most people have been really reasonable today. I thought people were going to be off the handle.
I thought that there was going to be curse words and middle fingers. I did expect some all caps. I did expect that there's going to be a lack of punctuation happening, because I do know that there are certain members in the chat that are definitely having a front to using punctuation, which is fine. But yeah, Frank, you get it. Of course we're gonna make fun of you. You've been around RC forever. Like, I don't know, since the beginning of dirt.
Well, I don't want to talk about what you were editing before RC. Like I said, guys, there's so much on the show I just don't say.
Hey, look, I mean, there could have been a flood of shit talking. Could have been. There could have been a flood of shit talking since the beginning of this show, and there hasn't been with regards to them. But there hasn't been, because look, let's start to be honest here.
We may need to say it in open caps. All right, well, you know, if you feel the need to, NorCal, you do right.
I mean, we've said it time and time again since episode 1. This show is about having fun, and this show is about talking whatever the hell we want to talk about, and it's about openness and honesty. And yeah, you know what? Like I said, if you want to come in here and call me a douchebag or whatever, go ahead.
Look, if you want to bash an RC company, come in here and bash an RC company. That's what this is about. We're here just It's a shit talking show.
Especially Bash and RC Company. Matter of fact, I think that we have covered most RC companies in our bashing already. I mean, I'm not picking on the little guys. I'm not going after the ones that are obvious choices. But we've hit the RC four-wheel drive and Axial, pretty much everybody at Horizon. Traxxas, obviously now. We've been relatively kind to Element and Vanquish, I think, unfairly.
Well,
So
I admit I'm a bit of a Vanquish fanboy. I hate, but their shit's overpriced, man. Like, I mean, I know it's made in America and everything, but I mean, if we're just gonna call it out like it is, shit's expensive.
It is. And the fact that they have their own personal spokesman on YouTube only helps them.
I'm going to teach you how to start your career in RC.
And yes, we're poking fun at you, Harley. And that's freaking David and Goliath, baby. Freaking Harley. We've even picked on RC Sparks. I don't think we picked on Kevin Talbot yet. But how can you pick on that guy? He's a freaking maniac. He's just a freaking maniac. He does everything with RCs that everybody wants to do because he can. Yeah, the multimillionaire that drives around in a freaking Lamborghini. He's got his own damn monster truck, for crying out loud. There isn't much you can find to pick on that guy except, I don't know, he's fucking British. Now, that's not really saying much.
But if you'd like to support me and Richard on the show, you can buy my Amazon CD that I made.
I can teach you how to be. That's right, Kevin Talbot. He's like a fucking eBay guru. I can teach you how to become a multimillionaire and have your own Lamborghini by buying a bunch of cheap shit from China and then upping it and selling it on eBay. All you need is a warehouse.
I remember you saying
I don't do a good British accent, or I would have said that in British.
I remember you saying that before, Logos.
British accent. Yeah, I tell you what, fucking Kevin Talbot's probably done more to sell X-Maxes than Traxxas has done to sell X-Maxes. Damn it, I said their name. T-Hole has done to sell X-Maxes. Damn it. I had to apologize almost.
I know how that feels.
Apologies here. There's no reason to apologize for anything ever here. Because, hey, take care, Juan. Thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed the drama. Woohoo! Sometimes reality is...
Like I said, man, you ask one question.
Well, I mean, it depends on the question. And next thing you know, you got, people in the chat just unloading and wanting to fucking yell at you and, threatening that they'll see me soon. Oh, hey, guess what? You're going to have to fight through the fucking 50 deer in my front yard, plus every fucking neighbor I have around here that has a goddamn arsenal. And then you can finally make it to my house to pay me a visit, Baba Yaga. But I don't think...
All right.
I don't think the front yard is big enough for the big house with the chicken legs to fit.
Dear Lord.
My Lord.
Dear Lord.
Did I say that part out loud?
Yeah, we do. We have a tendency to go a little off the we do have a tendency to go a little off the chain in here. You're drinking that disappointment cup too, I see. Yeah.
That's why JB has my leash. Because that's every once in a while he's got a freaking yank the chain.
What the fuck are you talking about? I thought you had my leash.
We're in trouble. That's why we're in trouble. Two dogs carrying their leashes around in their mouth, thinking the other one's gonna...
Supreme RC Master. Yes, and you can call me RC King RC.
NorCal's never ever gonna let that one die.
I can't think of anything original, so RC King RC would be... I'm gonna get some wraparound sunglasses.
By the way, in the news, another something that we can all chuckle about, the WPGA Australian Open, be the women's professional golf.
Oh God, this shit
was won this last weekend by a man. Because all of this business about men dressing up as women and going into female sports, I I honestly don't understand how that hasn't been stopped yet, because what man wouldn't dress up as a woman to go get himself a payday in the WPGA? Because I think they're putting.
I don't want to sound lewd or anything, but could you imagine if you dressed like a woman and looked really good and went to an RC event? And I don't mean anything. I'm sorry. I probably crossed the line I shouldn't have crossed there somewhere. But
that is the sidebar name of this show, is Crossing the Line, because we do that freaking regularly, which is proof positive in the chat tonight that we cross the line regularly. Because evidently I made fun of a poor, misguided veteran who has cognitive problems, and now I feel semi-guilty about that.
I hope he's okay.
I hope so too. There's some obvious anger happening there.
I hope he's
Which, if you're still watching Baba Yaga, dude, smile, take a deep breath, and have some fun. It's the world of freaking RC where everything is fun. It's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in here. By the way, I think somebody brought up FMS earlier on, and anybody else getting the feeling that FMS is now the official 1/24th brand of Horizon, that Axial probably isn't going to make any more 1/24 scale stuff, because then they would just be competing with their sister company over at FMS, and the fact that FMS is like releasing shit every other week. Cross the line, you all obliterated the line. Well, hey, that's what's got to happen. It's the shit that needs to be said show. It's not the come on here and hope that your sensibilities don't get hurt show, or come in here and scream and yell and hope that somebody doesn't freaking talk shit to you show. It is the shit that needs to be said show. And we are kind of brutal in here sometimes, but that's what I do.
Look, if you want to put your camera on your hat and look down at the top of your RC car in your video, fine. Don't expect me to watch that bullshit.
Hey, we can't be picking on how people.
Sorry, I'm sorry. See, there I go.
What?
Okay, well, I admit I have seen it, because obviously I've seen it.
JB's done it before. I've done it before. As a matter of fact, I think every skate park video I did was actually filmed with the camera mounted on my hat. Because, shit, dude, you know how hard it is to keep up with those things. If, like, you're trying to point a fucking camera at it, it's impossible. Some bitches are fast. At least with your head where you're looking around, you can.
That's a good way to get hit in the face, too.
Hey, look, it's better than getting hit in the nuts.
That's it. Any day.
HBX Devastator, 70 pounds. The HBX is much more capable with only 20 tires and wheels. I don't believe I've ever seen the HBX. Now I know UA is in the UK. I know they get brands over there that we don't necessarily get over here. So HBX is, I know there are other cars out there that are better than the SCX24. The SCX24 is just because it's a part of Horizon, and everybody and their brother wants to freaking smooch the Horizon ass by being an aftermarket supplier for them, because they're the elephant in the room most of the time. I strap my camera to any available skater. That's a good idea. I gotta take a deep breath. I've been drinking I've been drinking all this disappointment that all of a sudden I kind of felt myself.
I need to decompress.
I almost felt myself getting a little sad. I'm sad. I'm so sad. But anyhow, hey, guess what else? because I
What else?
normally like to throw in some dirt track racing for y'all. Last night was the opening race for the first season of the High Limit Sprint Car Series.
Ooh.
Now, this is Kyle Larson, who is a famous NASCAR driver, and Brad Sweet, who's a famous World Outlaw. They came up with a series because, quite honestly, the World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series, which is the top tier for sprint cars, has been around forever. They don't pay shit to win. They don't pay shit. 10 grand. Back in the 80s, they were paying 10 grand to win. They're still only paying 10 grand to win. So a bunch of sprint car guys kind of got pissed off about that, started their own series, called it the High Limit Series. Last night's first race, 50 grand to win, and it was won by a World of Outlaw rookie. He's not a sprint car rookie, but he's a World Outlaw rookie, Giovanni Scelzi, which got a shout out and congrats to him, but also a shout out to my guy Rico Abreu, who led most of the race in the beginning, and he got a flat. Freaking sucks, but it looked like he had the field cover. But if you have a chance, I know that Flow Racing has put the clip up for the highlights of the main event from last night. Go over there and watch it. It's some good old-fashioned fun sprint car racing, throwing some mud around there. And it's, it was good to see, kind of a kind of young, but not necessarily up-and-comer in Giovanni Scelzi going out there and banking himself $50K for one night's worth of work. Which is not half bad, considering if he was just racing World Outlaw, he'd have to win 5 weeks in a row to make that much money. So
man, I've been missing comments. Oh no! I
but we
got
got
sidetracked. Somebody said, "But Vanquish is shit is good." NorCal. Oh, you can't say shit, man. Apparently they won't let you.
I don't.
AX24 is shit. I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah, that is 100% YouTube.
I got distracted over here by a tab, and what an asshole.
Damn it, JB.
I know.
They're slacking.
Letting everybody down.
20 lashes. Next week, Bobby Yaga will be in here yelling at you for 5 straight minutes.
Fuck me, dude. At least do it with some punctuation.
I'm sorry. We're doing it again. We're making fun of veterans. Whoops. Who knows when I'll get scammed by email?
You can. I'm watching it now. I'm back on it. Sorry. After everybody left, everybody's like, "Oh, they're not listening to me. Fuck, I'm out."
I'm definitely gonna have to check that out because I got to see this Devastator. Because it's the name is the freaking Devastator.
I think I've seen one, but
we can't say shot on the shot that needs to be said show. I know, isn't it ridiculous, NorCal? Adults can't have adult conversations on YouTube because somebody's feelings might get hurt or offended.
I want to go back to that earlier comment too that NorCal had. Hopefully you two got some closure today. No joke. The thing about all of this, just so you're aware, is this wasn't it. I had closure 8 months ago. I'm fine with this. My concern is that nobody's asking questions in the RC world. Nobody seems to want to say, "Hey, this shit sucks," or blah blah blah, or say something bad or anything about anybody for that matter. Like nobody wants to make a little fun of anybody.
Yeah, look at what happened last week with Traxxas. And look at what happened this week with a bunch of people on YouTube coming on and saying, well, Traxxas isn't actually that bad. And, they could have done something differently, but, they did. And they're just protecting their, man, fuck that. Traxxas acted like a bunch of fucking giant corporate assholes is what they did. And they did it on purpose, and they knew exactly what they were doing. The fact that they reached out afterwards was because there was so much.
Dude, Earl, I'm going to tell you, you bring up that fire team in chat one more time. I swear to God, man.
But look, Traxxas knew exactly what they were doing. They sent a cease and desist to a bunch of different companies because, look, they came out with their little 18th scale car. Look, we have this new 18 scale car. Also, we have all these upgrade parts for it. Then they released it. Then they let all of these companies make aftermarket parts for it. And they sat around for months watching and waiting and see what was going on and how much of their market share they were losing out to the DCMs and the CCXRCs. And they realized, you know what? They cost us $14.57. Fuck those guys. Let's go get them. Because they knew exactly what would happen. At least 2 or 3 of them are just going to drop off the scene altogether. They're going to say, oh, you know, it's not worth the hassle dealing with Traxxas aftermarket parts anymore. So Traxxas got exactly what they wanted because that's exactly what's happened. A couple of them aren't going to carry those parts anymore. They're going to sell out their stock and then they're not going to deal with it anymore. So Traxxas got exactly what
I think we
wanted.
just lost all of our Traxxas fans too.
Sorry.
You know, I guess if it's just me and you watching the show, that's cool.
Hey, you know what, Norco? It's 100% true. I mean, you look at a bulk of the videos on my channel,
NorCal,
it still has Operation 11 Charlie in it.
It's
So
not
even
just
though I could have gone back and deleted all of that shit and been like, dude, I'm not going to support it. But look, I did believe in Operation 11 Charlie at one point, and I lost the faith. And that's why I left, because I'm not going to stick around and do something or be a part of something that I don't really believe in anymore. So that's that. And it sucks. It sucks because I even told my wife after I left there that it felt like I put time and effort in. This is 2+ years of my life where a lot of my free time that was spent doing stuff for Operation 11 Charlie was important to me because of the work that was being done. And when I left, it was like, man, that's a chunk out of my life that's now not there anymore. And I had a hollow feeling about it. And I'll first of all, I don't get a lot of free time. I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but I got a full-time job that I work every day. I have a small business that I run on the side, which takes time to deal with. I have this YouTube channel that I do, and I have a family to try and spend time with. When you try to put all of that shit together and throw in, a nonprofit organization, hey.
Well, and you know what? I want to just say this. Look, it's really easy I'm sorry, it's really easy for me to point my finger at Operation 11 Charlie. All right. But it's not just that. It is not just that, you guys. There's so much I learned about being in the RC world when I was in the RC world. It's the companies, it's the people, it's what you said, it's the behind the scenes. And believe me when I say, I have a feeling that more people would come at me if I said what I knew to you guys. And so, some of the stuff we say here, we just, like you said, man, we don't want to see you guys get scared. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of times we're just talking shit so we can vent, to be quite honest with you. But, we don't want to see you guys get scammed. We don't want to see you guys get, gypped or, we want to talk about the truth about RC in here because it doesn't seem like a lot of people are willing to.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I had to respond to Mom's text.
That's all right.
We're okay with Mom. We didn't get in any trouble there. We're all good. But look, it isn't. This show was never about venting about Operation 11 Charlie. This show was about venting
about everything.
About everything. Even beyond the RC world. And I mean, I think everybody knows you get me rolling on a fucking soapbox about the United States federal government, and I'll burn up a fucking hour of this show by myself. I'll wear out my little ball dangly thing in my throat talking about the government. Thank you, Ooh-ah. It's very much appreciated. That's right, Earl. Everybody has their opinion. And obviously some people don't like my opinion.
That's why I never did review videos or anything like that in the RC. I've never done a review or anything like that. Is because I was always afraid that if I gave my opinion to the RC people, they would, it's just like, and I hate, you're going to make me bring it up again, you son of a, it's just like the fire team. Earl questioned the fire team and people attacked you. And damn it, dude, how come you can't say anything bad about something? Like, what the
Barbecue, did you miss the entire front of the show? The entire beginning of the show?
Oh. I would say I hate you right now, but
man, I would give you a recap of that, but there would be a lot of I don't know how to say it without making fun. Yeah. You're definitely going to have to go back and watch the first 40 minutes of the show because we got some spice in there. We had a visit from some of our Operation 11 Charlie friends who came in to voice their displeasure.
He's been here the whole time. You lurker. You
good
lurker.
Bubba, I'm glad that you got to sit through and watch that fucking train wreck.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
Oh, yeah. I was gonna pull this up too because this is very I think pertinent to what we were saying about us talking about Operation 11 Charlie. It's not gonna work.
How dare you?
Yes.
How dare you?
How dare you? How dare any of you say anything negative? I gotta do it again just because.
How dare you?
Dude, where you been? We kind of talked about this.
Why do you both not want to have anyone come on the panel or respond to anyone that's reached out to you both? Both of you are the ones that keep bringing it up, but don't. There's only so many characters.
You need to go back and watch the beginning of this show and do some of that RC therapy you talk so much about, brother.
Sean, you can definitely go back up there. We're multiple members of Operation 11 Charlie here in the chat, not in the panel, because
we've had our spot for Operation 11 Charlie. That part's over.
Yes, we've moved on and talked shit about Traxxas now and a man winning the Australian Open for women.
Which is,
did I mention we?
I mean, what the hell is that shit?
Traxxas? What's up, bro? I seen you are into the oval racing. Where can I find a good race? I almost missed your shows. Changing my shocks on my truck. Over. You know what, Jesse? The only one that I have seen, I want to say that Jesse's in like Ohio,
Michigan.
Dirt oval racing. That Ohio, the most famous.
He's in Michigan.
Track, is he in Michigan?
He's in Michigan. I'm pretty goddamn sure he's into welding.
Okay, Michigan.
Only the real welders come out of Michigan. Tell me that. Tell me I got that right, Jesse. Yeah, boom. I knew it.
Yeah, I will do my homework and I will let you know on next week's show. Because here in the Midwest, as far as sprint car racing is concerned, California is the king there.
Are you out? If you're out, you have a good night, man.
Hey, take care. Thanks for coming by.
I keep interrupting you.
Late model, dirt modifieds, UMP modifieds, whatnot. Man, Midwest is king. And I know that there's tracks all over the place. So I will absolutely get back to you on that, Jesse, because I'm kind of drawing a blank, partly because it's been a very emotional show. Very emotional. I'm not talking about anyone else. I'm talking about me.
A man wants to play with an RC car and everything's fine. Somebody asks a question Sean, and everybody goes, "Ah!"
I'll say it again. There was nothing personal there. There was no personal attacks. It was just a simple question about transparency, and so I'm talking about me. There's just not. We're not going to have a Operation 11 Charlie monologue. We said what we're going to say. We went through it. We talked with Jeremy. Juan Cabrera was in here. Bobby Yaga was in here, yelling and screaming.
Sean's asking like
here. Wait. I don't want you to take it personal. But I pulled back my offer to come on the show. And
I think he's asking like even as a friend. And man, I'm sorry. I've left the RC world. That's it. I'm out.
And
Done.
eventually, Sean, eventually, someday, JB and I have talked about it that maybe someday we will do a show where we invite people to come in and hang out, and we just have this crazy random show that's going to be utter chaos and madness, because that's what this show is chaos and madness.
Especially if you've been watching and not
Yes.
just being asked to being invited in the middle of it.
Yeah. So at that point, I promise you that we will consider sending the invite out when and if we decide to have that show. Because look, my friend, honestly, you were my friend there, and like I've said multiple times, there are people at Operation 11 Charlie I still consider to be my friend. You are one of those. Uh, you know, you are a straight up guy. You don't hold your tongue. You're not a
Oh, the
BSer.
Steve-O days. Oh, Steve-O D.
Yes,
You know, I'm going to
that-
let you in on a little secret. You want a little tidbit right now? You want a little bit of RC history? I'll give you a little
JB's
sprinkle.
gonna drop some freaking knowledge.
This is
Wait a minute.
is something. This is
Wait a
something
minute.
that a few people
Before you
know.
drop any knowledge,
How dare you?
how dare you drop any knowledge in
Oh
this show?
shit!
That's not what we're here for.
Oh shit! I miss the Steve-O days.
The Steve-O show was legendary, and it will live on forever as the legendary show. And I even said in the very first episode of this show that that's what we wanted this to feel like. We wanted it to feel like the Steve-O D days, where you could let loose in here and
let
say whatever
loose.
you wanted.
Now, unfortunately, like I said, we've experienced enough bullshit in the RC world that it's probably just going to be me and Rich on the show. That's just the way that it is. But you guys are more than welcome to come in here and say the shit that needs to be said.
That's right. And Sean, 100% logged in, missed the start. No
Getting hit
worries,
up
man.
hard.
And again, anybody is invited to come in here. Anybody at all, anytime they want. And you can say whatever you want in the chat. Nobody's getting blocked here. Look at what, you can scroll up and look at the chat. And Baba Yaga was just ripping us a freaking new one. And we didn't block them. You can come in here and say whatever you want. Now, if this is the shit that needs to be said show. And if you come in and you're blasting away and you're yelling.
I'm watching the chat. You can text while I'm trying to watch. I'm trying to let that. You should be able to say what you want to say. Like we don't censor you. We try not to censor you guys. Like
and just remember, because we did talk about it. The first thing that we talked about of the show was we apologize that YouTube does flag chat posts. They flag the chat. They would, if you say certain words, they will absolutely not let.
We're sorry if we missed something you guys said.
And sometimes I know. Sometimes I see the chat here in StreamYard. Now this week I started putting the chat up from YouTube. Like StreamYard will cut things out on their own, but YouTube has words that they flag, and they take shit down themselves. That's why we have appropriately called them Lords of Truth, because quite frankly, and I'm not sure if you're aware, Sean, they already pulled down one of our shows because we broke community guidelines, because we don't give a shit.
Well, we can't talk about voting and some other
we
things.
Can't talk about that because that's clear guideline.
I want to go back. I want to go back to it because there's a couple things that a few people who I don't know if anybody remembers Axiomatic, but Axiomatic for a while used to run the chat for Steve-O D.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Now I did it once or twice myself. It was a tough job because Steve-O had quite the chat. And I remember this instance between Game Dog and I can't remember somebody in the chat, and the joke being made about smoking, and I ripped a bong in the background, and they thought that it was Game Dog, and they're all giving Game Dog shit, and of course I didn't say a word. I'm sitting over here like, oh boy. But Steve-O D, I believe, and you can call me out on this if you want to, but I'm pretty sure that I was the first person to call him the godfather of RC, and that's where it came from. So,
see, that's jacked up because I got the both chats going, and like the YouTube chat pops up way faster than StreamYard's chat does. Freaking StreamYard. That's what I get for using free software that doesn't cost me anything to do my live show where I piss people off all the time. Dang you, StreamYard, for being free and kind of being crappy.
Look, man, I live in a recreational state. Whatever. Yeah, it's out.
JB Long, it's
I'm here to have a good time.
I know that Axiomatic still makes content. I know. I just looked at his channel like a couple weeks ago, and there was like a month ago or something he made a video. But man, I don't know what happened to him. You know, the great part is, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier in the show, in between getting yelled at and everything else. But I was, as a matter of fact, over on Outback Jack's channel on Friday.
That's right.
He was doing a live stream. And I tell you what, there were some folks that came out of the freaking woodwork over there. Mick popped in over there and said hello. Yeah, now I'm drawing a freaking blank. See, that's what happened. And I don't even take bong hits. And I heard you forgot. But anyhow, it was a blast hanging out over there. I was over there on Jack's channel for like 2 hours hanging out, shooting the shit. And then after the show was over, I hung out with Jack for another hour. It was great to hang out with him. He's, sometimes he's a grumpy old bastard, but damn it, he's good people. And
yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's watching. I mean, I realize that we're both assholes, but well, from one asshole to another, you're a tolerable asshole. How's that?
Even if you're an intolerable asshole, it doesn't matter. I'm an intolerable asshole. Sometimes I'm the freaking RC Supreme Master who just happens to be one of the coolest people on the freaking planet.
Dude, I've got to get myself some like rainbow wraparound sunglasses.
Not rainbow. You can't have rainbow on this show. I draw the line. There ain't no freaking rainbow shit here.
Wait, did I just pull a Bud Light move? Oh,
Bud Light turned beer into queer. Ooh.
Oh man!
Did I say that out loud?
Was that deep? Was that we dug in on that one?
What the hell, Bud Light? What the hell? What the hell? You guys are a freaking beer company. Goddamn Anheuser-Busch. What the hell's wrong with you people?
Well, I mean,
you guys literally just destroyed one of the most iconic beer brands in the freaking world.
Right.
By putting some freaking sissy boy on your can. Come on. Real man of genius.
You're so insincere about it.
Real man of genius. Those commercials, Bud Light had some of the best commercials ever. And they literally pissed on it. Yes, Bud Light is probably one of the worst beers on the planet to actually drink, but they had a damn good marketing team. And now they're.
I hated Bud Light before hating Bud Light was cool.
I honestly, I would drink a can of beer before I would drink a Bud Light right now. I would go Pabst Blue Ribbon at this point. And the last time I had a Pabst Blue Ribbon, it was almost like a horror movie, drinking that. So, yeah. Oh, God. But the world has gone mad. I gotta throw it out there again. I'm gonna fucking wear you guys out on this shit.
How dare you?
How dare you, Bud Light, ruin your image like that, you freaking clowns. Man.
Well, yeah, here we are at an hour 20 in, and we're completely off the rails.
Straight piss. You know it, NorCal. But you know what? Nothing says freaking America more than freaking chugging down a Pabst Blue Ribbon. If you walked into
what was it? I worked at a drive-in where the guy he lived outside in his trailer, right? And when I started working, I was like, hey, what time do we close? And he looked at me and he said, we don't have a closing time. We just have a drinking time. And I thought he didn't hear me. So I looked at it and I was like, no, man, what time do we close? And he's like, we don't have a closing time. We just have a drinking time. And that's when I knew I was working with a badass guy.
Hey, Robert, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for coming by. Oh, One Locko's throwing out the Lucky Lager. I mean, hey, if we're gonna start the worst beer on the planet competition here, we only have about 40 minutes left of the show. we might want to save that one for next week's show because we could go on for a while there. There's some pretty bad ones out there. And I can't. I just don't know. I'm almost speechless. I am almost speechless about the whole Bud Light thing.
Well, I mean, let's break it down. Let's break it down for real here, and let's look at this. What we're actually talking about. Okay, so Bud Light is basically supporting how much percentage of the population did we say?
0.004% of the population of the United States, according to Pew Research, considers themselves to be trans. 0.004.
So we took a national beer known by millions and millions and millions of people, and we tried to appeal to an audience that is 0.006 big. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes. And on top of that, that 0.004% is also trying to jam down the world's throat that we have to misuse the English language by calling them they, thems, or she, it's, or I got a perfect pronoun for all of you. F you. How about that?
I'm like, it's not the pronouns that bother me. Fine. You want to they, them, whatever. That's fine. But don't expect me to fucking know. Don't come up to me and be like, you should have known this. No, yeah. I got no clue who you are, man. Or
let me bust out my D&D 20-sided die and figure out which of the 20 that I can think of right now that I should call you, and I'll roll the dice and do that. Yeah, it's like I said, freaking vegans. It's not enough that you're vegan. Now you got to come and yell at me while I'm eating a fillet and enjoying a steak.
Who's D&D knowledgeable? I mean, who's got a high insight check? I mean,
freaking nice. One Lock goes, I personally don't drink myself. I am not a drinker. Forced to rework our pronouns. Yeah, I mean, it's freaking madness. The world has gone freaking crazy.
Look, just
not my fault.
Just so everybody's aware, I don't know. Maybe I feel like I don't know. I feel like I should explain myself with this comment. I'm disabled. I sit at home. I can't do anything for more than about 2 hours at a time. I can't stand. I can't lay. I can't sit. I can't walk for about more than 2 hours at a period. Otherwise, I start to hurt so bad I throw up. So, whatever. I sit here and I don't go anywhere and I smoke a little weed. So that's on me, man. I don't wave it in your face. You do what you want.
I think that's what anybody wants now. Everybody first of all, hey man, live your life. Do what you want to do. Be who you want to be.
I could be somebody who's very popular in the RC world and talking about my triad and how I love marijuana and smoking it all the time in front of you. I mean, you know that person?
I know. There's a couple, so I don't know specifically who you're referring to, but I think there's one in particular that I'm thinking of, and I'm not sure if it's the same one. But yeah,
I'm talking about what? Yeah, never mind.
NorCal. We will officially now being referred to NorCal as NorCal. NorCal loves to, I'm going to start referring to myself as RC's Supreme Master again. RC's Supreme Master loves him some RC. I love to get out and have RC fun and drink PB and R's. Oh, sorry.
I'm imagining
throw him a Tennessee accent there.
Did you see this comment by Jesse?
Nice. I smoke a lot of weed. I weld my ass off and lay down some weld beads. Jesse, dude, you get after it, man. Mad respect, because hey, like I've said before, I was in the steel business. I'm technically kind of still in the steel business, and
I mean, if it helps you focus and you're in the groove and doing your job, I don't.
welding is one of those things that it's a freaking art form. Not everybody can do it. I'm terrible at it, but it's one of those things that, yeah, I'd be willing to bet that it probably actually gives you a more steady hand, and
I
and,
mean,
and able
look,
to
I guess
and be
maybe
able to
look.
drop
I
dimes.
might call you out on your shit, but I'm not here to judge you. I mean, I don't know. Like whatever, dude.
That's right, NorCal dimes, baby.
It's all about entertainment here, anyways. If you don't like it, there's a block button. You don't have to listen to us. Nobody's making you guys watch the show.
Oh, I did not know that. I thought it was a mandatory rule that everybody watch the show and listen
God, I wish we'd
intently
have more
to what we
viewers.
have
Fuck.
to say. Because if you're not listening and paying attention to everything that we have to say, then
I have to run around and stir shit up just so people will watch.
do you know how much fun we have doing this show? And 75% of the fun of this show is over there in the chat. It's you guys. You guys are, most of the time, you guys are getting me all fired up saying things, and I get on my soapbox and go freaking crazy. And
Well, there is a certain Monday night show that's like sandpaper over my butthole. If you've ever watched it.
well, look, you got to worry about triggering people and making people upset. So you want to be very monotone and basic and very quiet. You want to do things very slowly and calmly, because you don't want things to get out of control, and you don't want people to be offended, and you don't. Oh my God, I'm boring myself right now.
There's that sandpaper.
Oh, T-hole is not king. Well, actually, T-hole is king. They're king of being T-holes, that's for sure. Now, do they make a hell of a freaking basher? Damn Skippy. And I will say it that I still think that
Once you throw the electronics out the window and put in some hobby wing.
This is your RC. This is your RC on Jackson's Electronics.
Yeah, I love that meme. That meme was great.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll bash the hell out of Traxxas all day long, because business-wise, I kind of think they're a bunch of dicks. But is the X back? Is the X back?
Would I go buy a Traxxas again? Yeah, unfortunately, I would probably go buy a Traxxas again. There's only so many cars in the RC world. Like I said, I know some of these people, and I can tell you, I don't appreciate some of their whatever. Anyways, yes, I have my opinions about RC brands and RC companies, but does that mean I'm going to let that stop me sometimes? Well, unfortunately, no. Sometimes you need that servo or whatever. I mean, look.
Oh, I let out a Traxxas. Personally, I might consider buying a Traxxas at some point. Right now, it's a little raw. Buying a Traxxas for me right now would just kind of sting a little bit, and would make me feel a little bit hypocritical, because I've been especially harsh on them. But I also know that the X-Max is the king of bashers, period. Always has been since it was released, probably always will be. Everybody's tried to knock them off that pedestal, and it hasn't happened yet. Chances are it's never going to happen. Second, the UDR. The UDR is probably the most crazy, awesome vehicle I think that anybody has made.
Yes, please.
They threw down and made a pretty gnarly, awesome scale Baja truck that also happens to haul ass, and it's giant. You could break your shin with that freaking thing. They all have issues. HH had too many calls and turned the warranty number off.
Is this true? Did that really happen? That's great. I mean, like,
hey, I have plenty of bad things to say about Horizon, because I think a blanket corporation owning a bunch of brands and just buying up a bunch of brands so they could just fucking own everything. They're the GM of RC, basically. Just $342 million of sales. And earlier, I was over chatting on Billy and Jay's show, and somebody was pointing out that Even though Horizon is the elephant, they are a parent company, an umbrella with a bunch of little brands underneath them. And technically, the biggest company in RC, I think, is Tamiya. But the last time I checked, I don't think Tamiya's ever sued anybody over anything. And how can you? I mean, how can you not like Tamiya? They're like the cool little old, Japanese samurai guy sitting in the corner, just going.
Never had one.
We make cool shit. We make cool shit that's so cool. We don't even have to advertise. You know about us just because we exist.
Never had one. Never had one.
My first RC was in fact a grasshopper.
I always wanted an Avante, but those are kind of spendy. That's the kind of spendy stuff.
Yeah, I had a Super Champ as well. Super Champ was cool as hell. And then Associated came out with the RC10 and completely crapped on the RC world because the RC10 Gold Pan was pretty much the shit back then.
You're pronouncing it.
Tamiya,
tomato.
Tamiya. I don't know how to pronounce it. I
think you're gonna have to ask me if I really give a shit on this one.
I think that's Tamiya and Tamiya is one of those things that I don't
potato, tomato.
It's one of those things I don't think anybody will ever get it right because I've heard
middle-aged white guy. Half the shit I say isn't right.
Oh, you know what? See, and Jesse just brought up the trucks. Okay, when it comes to semi trucks, Tamiya, they got a lock. They are the Traxxas of the semi truck world. They absolutely own that. Haven't purchased it. Personal vessel. It's funny you mentioned Brad reached out to me a couple weeks ago, and because I haven't been on Tank Show in shit since forever, and that's partly because when I moved over to the East Coast, it completely screwed up all of the times that I could normally go on shows because I go to bed freaking early.
I've always wondered about that one too, Earl. Sorry.
Wait, what did Earl see? So I gotta go over here and look at it's like inter G in some
Intigi parts.
Yeah, I don't. That's another one. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry I didn't say it right. I'm sorry if I offended you, and I don't know the RC. This is why I'm not in the RC world. This is why I don't give my opinions. I can't even fucking say the name of the RC car. So yeah, I understand why you'd be upset with me.
I don't know. I don't know how to properly pronounce their name. I just know that I have several Tamiya models, like plastic models, that I built years ago. That have been sitting around, just collecting dust and me push them around. And those things are still rock solid. So even their freaking model cars are kind of insane. But I can remember my Grasshopper. I beat the snot out of that thing. It's 100% plastic. And I beat the snot out of that thing. Me and my best friend used to just crash them to see how bad of a crash we could make them have. He had a Frog, I had a Grasshopper. And we would literally go through battery after battery after battery of just freaking launching the thing into the front yard and watching them flip like crazy. And yeah, for years that thing lasted doing that crap.
Well, like I've said a ton of times, Earl, I don't want to be an RC influencer. I don't want to tell you what to do. You go out and you have fun with whatever you want to do. You know what I mean?
Earl has him some fun with his RCs. Earl knows how to have him some fun. The video he just did, him and his boy fixing bodies, and giving a pretty good explanation on how to strengthen up the basher bodies. Nice. with the drywall mesh tape, and that's just damn good information right there. While he's sitting there doing the job of repairing a body, he's also filming and explaining. That's good RC right there. good, wholesome RC. That's
Yeah, but when you start taking my opinion and running out into the RC world with it, that's where I'm gonna ask you, don't do that. Don't start taking what I said and being like, oh my gosh, Justin's just the best. No.
well, and on the flip side of that, if I'm in here and I say something that's offensive or I make fun of somebody and they take it personal and they go fucking batshit crazy about it, I just let out another Traxxas. Excuse me. Again, it's entertainment here, and nobody's supposed to be in here taking it personally, because if everybody took everything I said personally in here, there would be 2 people in here watching the show. Probably my mom. Okay, 2 people other than me and JB. My mom and my mother-in-law would probably be in here watching, because even my wife wouldn't watch it.
The RC King RC. It just
RC King RC. See, NorCal. He's got the memory of a steel trap. He does. You will always be RC King RC now. You will always be. That's
dude.
I dub thee now, RC King, as the RC Supreme Master.
Well, yeah, everybody's got it. Yeah, everybody. What the thing, like most places, you aren't free to express your opinions because people just tear you down. Boy, we just lost like everybody. I think everybody just tipped out of this show.
That was the last remaining operation.
Well,
we were hanging out to make sure that we didn't freaking jab at them a couple more times.
We fucked that in the ass.
Now that they're all gone, now. I hope that they come back and watch the replay and they catch just that part and have another freak out. So, what?
Shit, I hope they all come back and watch, because nobody else is watching this show. Jesus.
Hey, you know what? Hey. Bye-bye. Yeah, Earl, it is. It's like a president. Every country's got one and they all suck. Yep. We have one. I can't remember. He's working. Oh, man, but Brandon is in bad shape. He's in really bad shape. I mean, wow. And this guy wants to run again.
Are you sure it's him that wants to run again?
Well, of course not. It's
wait.
everybody.
Wait. Hold on. Can we talk?
I don't think he knows he's president now.
Are we allowed to talk about this? This is like a voting issue, right?
No. We're just bad-mouthing the president right now. That's completely allowed.
Okay.
You're not allowed to talk about the process in which he made it into the White House.
I see.
Then YouTube will strike you down faster than, talking shit in the Operation 11 Charlie show on Monday night. Did I say that out loud? Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody's going to be offended.
Oh, my Long Island.
Brandon meant to say I'm not running. Wow. I mean, I'm not sure. Has everybody heard the story about what happened when he went to meet the Pope at the Vatican, and he was like 45 minutes late to the meeting, and there's literally no explanation anywhere whatsoever except through the rumor mill that the man literally shit his pants, and they had to clean him up before he could go meet the Pope.
Everybody's got their problems.
The leader of the free world crapped himself.
I guess even the leader of the free world needs to wipe. I don't know.
I demand some Imodium, for crying out loud. He's going to meet the Pope. It's the Pope, for crying out loud. And he's got freaking dookie shorts. Come on, man.
He won't remember we bashed him anyways.
That's true.
Are you talking about me or the president right now?
Oh man! Oh, see.
Redacted messages. I saw that.
NorCal retracted a message. I didn't get to see it before you retracted it. I know you said something funny right there, NorCal, and you had to pull it back. Man, I'm so glad I had. I'm glad I had 2 bottles of disappointment tonight, because that first one went quick. It went in the first 45 minutes. That one was gone. Autocorrect. Autocorrect's the best. He gets some of the most interesting conversations ever happen because of autocorrect.
Hey, honey, by the way. Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
It's been a hell of a show. This show, I've absolutely I loved every minute of this show. But that's because, like you said, man, how often is it that you get hunted down on somebody else's RC show?
And the truth is, I tried to ignore it. But it just more chat popped up, and I finally was like, oh, not the time and the place here. It's not my show. It's not. Yeah, it's Jack's show. And if you go and watch Jack's show, you can see the utter confusion that was happening there, because he doesn't know what's going on. And it wasn't until after the show when I was telling him, like, yeah, okay, unfortunately. And he was like, oh my God. He's like, oh, I wouldn't have extended him the offer to come and hang out, to join the live stream. And I was like, yeah, that kind of probably would have been a little bit awkward to have me and Sergeant Major on the screen at the same time.
Yeah, who hasn't crapped their pants before seeing the Pope, right? That seems reasonable.
Because I've never seen the Pope before. I might crap myself before seeing the Pope, because he's the freaking Pope, for crying out loud. And not that, there isn't plenty of things wrong with the Pope and the Catholic Church, but I am most certainly not going to do anything to get myself struck by freaking lightning right now.
Like I said,
the one person that is off limits. Well, but all-knowing, all-being people that we're not allowed to bash here, because, yeah, that's a no-no. And by the way, I know that somebody earlier mentioned that I need Jesus, and another Traxxas. I'm full of all kinds of Traxxas tonight. Bad. Yeah. Throwing the "you need Jesus" out there. All right. Amen, brother.
That seems condescending and arrogant too.
So I didn't say that. I didn't. Maybe my facial expression insinuates that, but I don't know. But all I can say is
I don't running around telling people
we got to be careful about running around, throwing around the Almighty, because he's not here for our entertainment or for our back and forth dick measuring contest. All right, so
I got no problem. Me and Jesus are just fine.
Yep. Jesus is my co-pilot, baby. I'm like this. The faith is just all right with me. Sorry. The faith is strong with this one. Okay. When we bought our house, our real estate agent joked with us that we don't just live in the Bible Belt. We live in the Bible belt buckle. I'm at the center right here, and there's.
I don't know. I don't want to go off about that either, but
yeah, you're right, Jesse. Amen, brother. Everybody needs it. And quite frankly, the one thing I never wanted to get into on this show was into religion, because religion to me is quite a personal thing. I think it's personal.
You do you. You do you.
I don't believe in pushing my religious beliefs on anybody else. I don't believe in anybody pushing any religious beliefs or any beliefs, period. Like I even said to vegans, hey, you go be vegan and
Yeah,
be
man.
happy. You know what? But you keep your malnourished, skinny little fingers off of my fillet, you bastard, or I will poke you with a fork. Just because you don't want to eat meat doesn't mean that I can't. I love me a good steak. I love me some barbecue chicken. And for crying out loud,
This
if
just
you
goes
don't
back
know,
to this just goes back to respectful debate. If you want to
yeah,
talk about it, fine. Let's just be respectful.
if you know anything about me and you've been watching me over the years, you know there's one thing that I will talk about: food, freaking bacon.
Oh my God,
Don't
bacon.
mess with my freaking bacon.
Here we go. We could talk the last 15 minutes about bacon.
I could do a whole series of shows about nothing but bacon. I'm like freaking Bubba from Forrest Gump.
Doing it
Bacon
myself is
soup,
against my
bacon,
religion. Oh my God.
bacon soup,
What a
bacon
paradoxical
kebab.
world that must be.
That's right, bacon, NorCal. Bam. There is potentially no better meat product on the planet than some good old-fashioned bacon. I can almost smell it now. That and the faint smell of gasoline, because I think I left the vent open on my gas bottle.
It always turns to food. Ain't that the truth? Oh, and then, oh no.
You know it, RC guy.
Did you just say bacon?
Bacon and RCs. That's like mac and cheese. It's like PB&J. It's like bacon and bacon wrapped in bacon.
I wish I could pull up the con. You gotta. Oh my Lord.
Howdy, howdy, RC guy. It is good to see you here, man. Until you,
Oh,
until
I'm
you lose
sorry,
your
buddy.
gallbladder.
I'm sorry. Get it?
Yeah, I mean that might hinder the bacon consumption.
Yeah, that might
But
make you want to say fuck bacon.
you know what though? At that point,
I mean, I put it on my RC car one time. I put it on the Traxxas TRX. I baked up like several pieces of bacon and I laid it on my Traxxas, and I was like, "This is gonna make it better," and it didn't. I got to be honest. So I get it.
you are so full of it right now. I can't even believe it. Your eyes are like full blown brown right now. I guarantee you that bacon.
You guys are spelled shut. It's the end of the show. What the hell?
I guarantee you that bacon made it better. Nothing like some freaking X-Max bacon. Yeah, maybe go down, dip it in the mud a little bit. Yeah. Bacon is always perfect, he said to Marty. Dang it, T-hole. I keep forgetting. Not allowed to call them Traxxas right now. I'm mad at them. Traxxas, I'm mad at you, you freaking T-holes. Damn you and your cease and desist.
Here,
Man, was there anything else on my list? You know, I do have something else to talk about. Man, I almost completely forgot about this. Okay, we're gonna do. There's some more smack talking.
Oh
Now
shit!
we're gonna do some smack talking about NASCAR. Freaking NASCAR. So at one point in time, the Daytona 500 got more people watching it than the damn Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, for crying out loud. The gold standard of TV watching events. The Daytona 500 for about 8 years straight beat out the freaking Super Bowl.
Okay.
Do you know what beat out the Daytona 500 in viewership this year, 2023? The women's college basketball finals. The women's college. Now, if that doesn't tell you how far NASCAR has fallen, here's another little tidbit. I happened to watch all the highlights from all three of the races at Bristol this weekend. The truck race, the Xfinity race, and the Cup race. And guess what? I could probably count in less than 30 seconds how many people were in the stands at the truck race. There were so few people there that it looked like they weren't actually having a race. It looked like there was just a bunch of people that happened to show up to the track that day and were hanging out. The Xfinity race wasn't much better. The Cup race at Bristol. Bristol is one of the best short track races on, and it was the dirt race, which don't even get me started about what a lame ass idea that is, to put a freaking 3,500-pound stock car on the dirt driving around like a bunch of dummies. But even the stands weren't full for the Cup race, for crying out loud. What the hell happened to you, NASCAR? What the hell? Used to be America's Series. You basically blew freaking Indy cars out of the water. You had more people watching the 500 than you had people watching the Super Bowl, and now you can't even beat out the women's college basketball finals, for crying out loud.
I'm just gonna throw Chinese owns the football players. Is that really? I mean, I imagine that's got to be. I mean, it wouldn't put it past them. I mean, China owns half of America, but
yes, I absolutely got on my NASCAR soapbox there because I used to be a huge NASCAR fan. If you look right there, there is a Bill Elliott freaking diecast NASCAR sitting right there because it actually, that particular diecast actually belonged to my father and got passed down to me when he passed away. But Bill Elliott was my dad and my mom's favorite driver. In the glory days of NASCAR, we would sit around as a freaking family and watch NASCAR races on Sundays. And now it's just crap. It's crap racing. Freaking playoffs. What the hell are you doing having playoffs in a racing series?
That was the other thing I was going to say. Do you suppose that if we took college females and threw them at NASCAR, I'm just asking a question here. Like I said, this show is about questions, right?
Well, okay. Now, NorCal, you're right. I
love little baby Jesus. He's my favorite Jesus.
My 8-pound, 15-ounce baby Jesus in his little golden fleece diapers. I mean, NASCAR has absolutely shot themselves in the foot with this whole playoff system. I can guarantee you, Jimmy Johnson is not a 7-time Cup champion. He's at best a 3-time Cup champion if they had a normal racing series and not this stupid playoff system. And now they run their races in stages. Like, come on. Now they can't get people to watch, so they're trying to create all this controversy between drivers and, oh, he bashed into the side of me and now I said something and he doesn't like me anymore. And what do you have to say about that? Hold on. Because they have nothing. Because nobody wants to watch the races because they suck. They suck. You know, if I want to sit around and be bored, I'll go watch the Monday night. Never mind. I won't say that I'll go watch the Monday night RC's chat show. But anyhow, oh yeah, I mean it is so sad. I
wake up and I piss excellence.
Nobody shits better than mine. Ricky Bobby is, quite frankly, one of the greatest characters in movie history. Uh-oh.
What did I do now?
No. That's mom.
Okay.
Mom's sending some texts. Yeah, Ricky Bobby. Man. And I'm so glad that they only made one. You know, unlike the movie industry that is just freaking beating the dead horse over and over and over again. Did I mention that they're making a live action Moana?
Yes.
I think I mentioned that.
We're just gonna live action everything.
Oh, Disney.
I got kicked out and had to watch the commercials.
I had to watch the commercials.
That's too funny.
Did they put commercials in the live shows here? Is that what happens? when I'm assuming when you first click on it and it starts, it'll start on a commercial first. Freaking YouTube.
Did you get the commercial for Grammarly?
I mean, personally, I thought that shit was funny. The fact that that Grammarly commercial popped up when I was going to show the freaking comments there. I personally thought that shit was funny. I didn't realize that I was making fun of somebody and cognitive problems, and now don't I feel like the a-hole? Nah, not really. I don't. Anybody comes in here and freaking screams and yells in the chat and says, "We'll see you soon." And I ditto what JB said earlier. Yes, I have no intention of Epsteining myself. You're not going to find me freaking hanging myself with a necktie from a doorknob.
This is what I was looking for earlier for you guys. In case you need it.
Link to my new Moana podcast.
Yeah. I just want to make sure, in case anyone actually, if you do need that, I understand. I use it. I'm not going to lie. I use it because I can't type for two shits, you guys. So how do you think? I mean, everybody was like, oh, you type so fast. You type so. Yeah. It's because I use Grammarly. Use Grammarly. It fucking rocks.
And look, I mean, punctuation is pretty important.
Especially if you're trying to make a statement, right?
Exactly. Because you don't necessarily know the overall tone of things if there's no punctuation.
I think somebody mentioned the context of text. Like the context of text, it's really hard to tell.
It's very impersonal.
I think maybe we even misinterpreted Mr. Kilborn at first. But I mean, coming at us three different ways was like, oh boy. I mean, come on, man. You made it weird, dude. Like we said, you made it weird, bro.
That is precisely why that thumbnail came about. By the way.
How dare you?
No. I'm home alone. That spells fine. I'm sorry. No, we can't. Guys. I don't want to blow up about that right now. That's too funny. You guys are hilarious.
NorCal loves him some all caps.
You guys are funny as shit.
See, that's the part that people don't understand about this show. If you just sit and listen to this show like it's a podcast and you don't come back and read what's in the chat, you're missing half the show. Because there's some absolute freaking bladder drainers over.
Like I said, I did go back to the last couple shows and bring back up chat and skim through and made sure the comments were shown. So if somebody does watch the live show, they will see your comments now. I felt so bad for you guys. I can't believe you put up with us and then we fucking won't even let your comments fly.
I know. It's making it look like we're the Lords of Truth over here, complaining about the Lords of Truth.
Yeah.
That's you hypocritical bastards. You won't let us say the word shit in your chat, but you guys can drop F-bombs on the show all day long. That's right. RC.
Yeah, 3/4 of the show is joking.
3/4 of the show. See,
3/4 of the
gets it. Everybody in the chat gets it. The Johnny-come-latelys who just pick and choose little bits and pieces out of the show.
Where have you been? Did you just join me in the last 9 months? Because I've been around RC for like 8-something fucking years, man.
Delete my comment. See, wait. What part of the what? First, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say the shit that needs to be said right now. Guess what, everybody?
Well, we got 2 minutes left for it. So
sorry, not sorry about the beginning of this show. That was absolute chaos and mayhem. Sorry, not sorry. Because guess what? This show is about having fun. And I don't know about you, JB, but the beginning of the show was mildly entertaining to watch a freaking chat meltdown because two guys are on here talking shit. I don't know about you, but I know
I only want to mention one last thing about it. One last thing, and then I will shut my lips. Is we've talked trash about how many other people?
Countless.
I don't see anybody else responding like that.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that nobody from NASCAR is going to come in the chat next week.
Oh God, could you imagine the views we could get?
They're going to all caps blast me for calling their
Kyle Busch.
entire
You suck my ass.
a shit show now. Life is short, and it's a hobby to have fun and laugh. You damn Skippy Earl.
Yeah, man.
Have fun and laugh.
I don't want you to take my opinion that seriously. I want you to, oh, that's Justin's opinion. Haha, what a dickhead he is. And have your own opinion and do what you want to do and whatever, man. Like the show is entertainment, right, Rich?
That's right. Are you not entertained?
Is that not what you're here for?
Oh, no. Oh, NorCal. No, that's not ever going to happen. And honestly, Earl, Traxxas should apologize for that. Because when you call yourself the fastest name in RC, you better be able to handle a 40-foot launch without flying into 87 different pieces when it lands.
The fastest name to get destroyed in RC. Sorry.
the fastest RC company to send you a cease and desist.
All right.
Thank you, Robert, and thank you, everybody, for hanging out on the show. And you know what? Thank you, Operation 11 Charlie, for coming in here and offering up a damn fun bit of entertainment for me and JB.
Well,
guess what?
Even some honesty and a bit of transparency on their part. It was nice to see.
Yeah, good for you guys. Good for you guys for coming on here and handling what we were throwing at you. Because, look, we're all freaking adults here, and we can all handle a little bit of poking every once in a while. I don't got to get upset about it. And like I said, hey, there's no anger or hatred here. I don't hate anybody at Operation 11.
Well, now, wait a minute. I hate everybody equally. It's not...
JB, he's an indiscriminate hater. And that's generally why every week we bring jugs of haterade with us, for crying out loud. This week I just switched it up with some disappointment because I knew that there were some people out there that were disappointed and upset with JB and I. Darn it. My apologies and not apologies. Because guess what? It's a hobby. It's fun. We're a bunch of grown men out having fun, playing with little toy cars. Hobby-grade RCs, Rich. Don't demean the hobby by calling them toy cars.
Maybe some of you motherfuckers that can still walk are, but I'm just messing. You know, that's another thing. Like, I don't bring that up to you guys. I try not to piss on you guys about my bullshit. You'll never hear me talk about my bullshit to you guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, you will hear me talk about my bullshit every once in a while because, quite frankly, I am the RC Supreme Master. And the RC Supreme Master likes to drag his bullshit out in the open.
Goddamn yin and yang of the show. All right, let's end this.
Hey, let's come back and do this next week without the mayhem and chaos at the beginning. Let's just come back next week and have a nice, relaxing show where we
I'll try to
talk
slow
about
down some of the cussing, Mom. Sorry.
Yes, next week we will tone it down a bit. But yeah, let's all come back here and have some fun next week. Right here, 5:30 Eastern Time. Same bat channel, all of that fun crap. And yeah, thank you all for coming in. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and hanging out and shooting the shit with us. And by all means, being the best damn chat group in any freaking live stream out there right now. Because like Robert said, 75% of the fun on this show is happening over there in the freaking chat. So again, thank you all, and we will see you next Wednesday, my friends. The awkward time where we wait for the show to end.